Welcome to today's webinar, courtesy of the Kentucky Small Business Development Center in Louisville. Discover no-cost, valuable business services to help you thrive, whether starting your entrepreneurial journey or scaling your existing business. We have the resources and expertise to help you succeed. For more information, please visit our website or text 502-977-5800. Thank you for joining us today. Feel free to use the chat feature to ask questions or engage with our speaker. Let's get started.
Hey, welcome everybody. I'm still hiding behind my screen here. It doesn't turn on. Oh my gosh, every week it's the same thing. So welcome everybody to another Toolkit, to Toolkit Tuesday. So happy you guys could join us today. So just to make sure you can see and hear us and everything, if you just look at the bottom of your screen, you should see a toolbar. And if you don't, just hover your cursor over that. And it should pop up in there. You'll see the chat feature. If you just click on the little chat button there, if you wouldn't mind just saying hello, tell us where you're joining from, and that you can see and hear me okay. So it's always it's very fun for me. I always am very interested in seeing where everybody kind of pops in from all over the place. Hi, Michael. Michael's in Louisville. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Melania, also from Louisville. All right, doing good so far. There's a bunch of people popping in, so I can see you there at the bottom of my little counter. Hey, Amberly from Frankfort, Kentucky. I was just through there the other day. So, yeah. Also joined with my good friend and coworker, Janet, who's popped out for a sec, but there she is. Hey, Janet.
Ready. Keep it July, Dave. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. So, we always try to bring different speakers in here for everybody to kind of learn from, and we learn from them as well. And one of the things that is often overlooked but very important is your local tax. We're here in Louisville, Kentucky. So we've invited our good friends from the Louisville Metro Revenue Commission, and I will say this, the group there has always been so very nice and so very helpful. And, all this bad rep the tax guys get, I mean, they are the best bunch of folks that I know, and always a pleasure to see them. And luckily we have with us Breck Eubank today from the Louisville Metro Revenue Commission. So, Breck, I'm hoping you can shine some light on, what we need to know, what we need to do, how you guys can help us going forward as business owners, and to make sure we stay within the rules, but also look for the services and the help that you guys can provide.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you all, allowing me to join today and present some information to you. I am the revenue manager over here at the Revenue Commission over our customer service division. So a lot of the questions that we handle on a day-to-day basis revolve around, what we're going to cover today. Of course, I know that everyone is going to have specific questions about their business, but we're here to help. We're, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. We help, over the phone, online through EMINTS, which we'll get into. But yeah, happy to be here and share some information with you all.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you just kind of share your screen and we'll get going.
Perfect.
All right.
All right. Will somebody just verify with me that you guys can see that okay?
Looks great.
Perfect. All right. So today we're going to go over a little bit about the relationship between your business and the Louisville Metro Revenue Commission, specifically understanding the registration process and tax compliance requirements. So just a small disclaimer before we get started. This presentation is provided solely for general informational purposes and does not and is not intended to constitute legal advice. Should any discrepancy arise between the English version and any translation, the English version will govern. All right, so who we are and what we do. The Louisville Metro Revenue Commission, or LMRC as it's typically referred to, is the official taxing authority for the Louisville Metro government. So essentially our function is to collect the occupational license taxes on behalf of the Louisville Metro, which includes all of Jefferson County, Kentucky, the Jefferson County Board of Education, the Anchorage Board of Education, and the Transit Authority of River City, or TARC. In addition, the LMRC collects various other license fees that include taxes for transient rooms, which has to do with hotels and short-term rentals, insurance premiums, and large trucks and trailers that use the Louisville or Jefferson County streets. So the big one is the occupational license tax on net profits. This is filed with Form OL3. So essentially, every natural person and business entity engaged in any business, trade, occupation, profession, or other activity for profit in Louisville Metro shall pay to the commission as collecting agent for Metro government an annual occupational license tax for the privilege of engaging in these activities. So essentially, it's just the cost of doing business within Louisville Metro. So below what I just read is a tax breakdown. So the occupational license tax on net profits and wages is 1.45%, and the school board tax is 0.75%. So that totals the 2.2%. Kind of the distribution rate of that is the city of Louisville receives 1.25% of that 2.2%. TARC, or the Mass Transit Fund, receives 0.2%, and then Jefferson County and Anchorage school systems receive 0.75%. So the filing requirement, so OLs are filed, the returns are due annually on April 15th for calendar year-end, fiscal year-end filers, which is typically, what we see. So business entities other than sole proprietors are required to make quarterly estimated payments of their annual tax liability if it exceeds $5,000. So we get a lot of questions about when or if, a business or an individual should file. So here's some examples of when you need to file. Even if your business activity resulted in a loss for the tax year, you'll still need to file. If you were not engaged in business during the tax year, but do intend to resume operations at a future date, you'll need to file as well. If your business activity ceased prior to the beginning of the tax year, but you have not provided written notification that operations ceased, your business was operational for a portion of the year, but ceased operation prior to the completion of the fiscal period, or if you applied for a tax number with the intention of starting a business, but never transacted business within Louisville Metro and do not intend to do so in the future. So the occupational license tax on wages is filed with Form W1. Employers are required to withhold and remit OL taxes from employee compensation. So employers will file a quarterly withholding return and remit the tax on Form W1. Wages are apportioned for employees working within and outside of Louisville Metro. We'll go over the breakdown on the right side in just a moment. Some very important information here. So you as the business owner may be personally liable for failure to pay taxes on your employees' wages. Once a year, you're also required to file an annual reconciliation form by February 28th of each year, in which compensation was earned, and this is filed on Form W-3. So the breakdown over here on the right, employees who are residents of Louisville Metro are charged the full 2.2%. The difference between residents and non-residents is the school board tax, which is omitted from non-residents. So they're only charged the 1.45%, as opposed to the 2.2%. Down at the bottom right, you'll see the withholding return due dates. So the first quarter is due on April 30th, second quarter on July 31st, and so on and so forth. So the big dates are April 30th, July 31st, October 31st, and then January 31st of the following year. So of course, I want to cover the information if returns are not filed or if they're not filed timely, as this is important information for you all to know. So a business entity subject to the license tax on net profits may be subject to a penalty equal to 5% of the license tax due for each calendar month or fraction thereof if the business entity, 1, fails to file any return or report on or before the due date prescribed for filing or as extended by the tax district, or 2, fails to pay the tax computed on the return or report on or before the due date prescribed for payment. The total penalty levied shall not exceed 25% of the total license tax due and shall not be less than $25. So there's a $25 minimum fee for failure to file. Interest on unpaid taxes is charged at a rate of 12% per year or 1% per month. For withholding taxes, officers, which examples include presidents, vice presidents, secretaries, treasurers of a business, are personally liable for any occupational license tax required to be withheld from compensation paid or payable to employees. Additionally, the commission is authorized to initiate criminal charges where appropriate. I know that can be scary, but all this is meant to do is give you the information that you need in order to file. So don't be too afraid. Many types of locally issued permits and licenses also require compliance with Louisville Metro Revenue Commission. Examples include like liquor licenses, which you would get through ABC, ground transportation licenses. And that's one of the biggest things that we deal with here at the Revenue Commission is compliance. We actually provide compliance to these agencies in order to get specific permits. So I wanted to cover a few things from different websites. This is the Revenue Commission's website, which can be accessed from louisvilleky.gov. There is a specific link to the Revenue Commission. So on the homepage here, on the left side, you'll see we have forms and publications. Under that, you have our regulations, which you can access. The regulations are what govern the Revenue Commission. And then you have our tax calendar, which is a list of important due dates. There's also any recent updates that would be any special tax relief programs that are communicated, potentially from the IRS that, directly impact those within Louisville Metro, as well as any kind of changes to returns or due dates. So you've also got access to EMINTS, our online tax portal, and then transient tax, which is the information about short-term rentals and hotels, our bulk filing requirements and how to e-file, as well as frequently asked questions, which contains a lot of information, just general information, how to file returns, specific information about different entity types, that may be useful if you're a sole proprietor or a partnership. I know that we've got specific information in there about those two entity types. On the right side there, I've got highlighted in blue is our contact information, which I'll also show you at the end of the presentation. But we're located at 617 West Jefferson Street. You've got our phone number there, and our hours of operation, specifically for customer service, is 8:30 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. So below forms of publications, there are e-services and other resources. The thing that I wanted to point out here is our EMINTS support. So listed on this and highlighted in yellow are questions and information, which will take you to basically how to get basic information and additional functions of EMINTS, how to sign up and create a logon for EMINTS, how to schedule an appointment with us here at the Revenue Commission. If you have, needs to file in person, make payments, things of that nature, even ask general questions, you can stop by and visit us. We've got step-by-step guides on how to register if need be, which we will cover in the presentation as well. We've got information on understanding returns and how to file, when to file, and how to make payments. What to do if you receive correspondence from the Revenue Commission, and how to, respond to those. Information on third parties to grant third parties access to your EMINTS account, which would be like CPAs, any certified public accountants that you have that, need access to handle any business regarding your tax accounts, and information on, how to provide them access, as well as how to get your account IDs if need be, either if they're lost, or they're not kept track of. Your accountants and CPAs can use that function in order to look up your account ID numbers, which you'll need to file. And then another thing is the compliance certificate. So you can use that link to actually print your own certificate of compliance, which you can provide to any agency to get specific permits and licenses. So if you click the EMINTS hyperlink, it will take you directly to EMINTS. At the top, we've got EMINTS Help, which is actually the same screen that we just came from. The Resource Center, which has tutorials, frequently asked questions, tips and tricks, as well as a business entity search. Oh, I apologize. Let me go back here. And then we've got access directly to the tutorials, the Revenue Commission website, and then LouisvilleKY.gov's website. Down towards the bottom in these 6 panels, I highlighted the registration. Under the access and registration panel, we've got the register with Louisville Metro Revenue Commission hyperlink, as well as the create a username for our online tax portal EMINTS hyperlink. Under the payments panel, you can actually make payments logged in or without being logged in, using that hyperlink. And then we've got the appointments panel. So you can schedule an appointment online through EMINTS, which is actually a new feature that just started towards the end of last month. And then if you happen to lose your confirmation code, you can find your appointment as well. Another big thing that we consistently point individuals and customers towards is the submit requested documentation hyperlink under the documentation panel. If you receive any kind of correspondence from the Louisville Metro Revenue Commission, typically we ask that you submit something in writing to us in order to be able to move money or close accounts, things of that nature. So if you use the submit requested documentation hyperlink there, you can upload and send us any type of response to the correspondence, and we will receive that, and we're pretty quick to respond to those. All right, so the important stuff. how to register your business. So you will go online to emints.metrorevenue.org. You'll navigate to the access and registration panel, where you'll select the register with Louisville Metro Revenue Commission hyperlink. From there, it's relatively easy. You'll follow the prompts to complete your registration. And of course, we've got instructions, the frequently asked questions, and tutorials that are available at the Resource Center. So make sure to check that out if you have any questions on the registration process. I will let you know some things that you will need when you go to register. You'll need the legal name of the individual or the business entity. You'll need addresses and telephone numbers, social security numbers, and federal identification numbers, as well as insurance license numbers if it's an insurance premium account, or if it's an individual or business entity, you'll need the socials or the federal identification numbers. You'll also need, if there are additional stakeholders, you'll need their information as well. You'll need their legal names and addresses. And then, of course, you'll need the nature of the business's activity, which is a NAICS code. So signing up for EMINTS, you can access this one of two ways. You can either navigate to the sign-in box, which I've highlighted here in yellow. You can create your username from that link, or you can access the access and registration panel. You'll just click sign up, and then from there, follow the prompts. Same thing, we've got FAQs and instructions and tutorials on how to complete the process, to complete the sign up process in the Resource Center. So any questions you have, chances are you're not the first person to have those questions. So we've given you that information there. Again, you'll need your account number. This is specific to the type of accounts that you register for, whether it be an occupational license or a withholding account. You'll need the account type, your zip code, and then a notice ID from a recent letter from the Revenue Commission. So once you register, you will be sent a letter confirming your registration with us. It'll be sent in the certificate of registration, which you can use in order to sign up for EMINTS. You also need your FEIN, your social, the individual tax ID number, or the insurance license number as well. We'll need names if it's a business or if it's an individual. And then for EMINTS, you have to have a valid email address as well. So if all this is a little bit overwhelming and you need some help, we do offer, or the Kentucky Society of Certified Public Accountants offers assistance through their website. If you go to kycpa.org, you can navigate to the Find a CPA link. There, it's basically a free resource that you can use in order to find a CPA for any of your business or financial needs. And just wanted to provide you all with any of the information about the Revenue Commission that you need all in one page. So there you've got our address, our phone number, our customer service information, as well as the Revenue Commission's website and the EMINTS website. So that will do it for me. I'm sure that we have some questions out there that I would be happy to help answer. Or if, of course, I don't know the answer, I will find the answer for you.
Right. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat there, and we'll get right to them. Crystal says, "Can you put the website link in the chat?" Yeah, we'll do that in just a second. But in the meantime, I do have a question. We get this asked a lot. So when I don't know, sometimes when people want to do business with another company, they'll say, "We need a copy of your business license." That's they need to come to you for that. And so really talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we get that question a lot. There is no physical license that we actually will give out. The occupational license, basically the best thing that we'd be able to provide is the certificate of registration. But the occupational license isn't actually a license itself. It's just basically the license to do business in Louisville. But there is no physical license.
Yeah. Yeah, some, I know a lot of other cities and other states, they do have a business license,
Right.
you know, we do not. So,
Right. Correct.
Yeah. So that letter, in essence, serves that you're registered and compliant, which is what they're looking for.
Correct. Yeah. Most of the time, compliance is ultimately what's needed. Now, there is a difference between the certificate of compliance and the certificate of registration. So we are able to provide the certificate of compliance, which a lot of businesses need for permits and licenses. And we actually send those, we can send them directly to, anyone within the business or the owner. And then we can also send them directly to whatever agency is issuing the license themselves. So whether that be ABC or construction review, we are able to issue those. And those actually, something that I wanted to point out, you can check your own compliance. If you have EMINTS access, you can print your own certificate of compliance from EMINTS.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. See, Lisa says, when you start a business and there's no activity, do you have to send tax forms in on that anyway?
Yes. So once you start a business or you apply for a federal tax ID number, we actually are in an information sharing program with the IRS. So they basically notify us of businesses that register within Louisville Metro. And yeah, even if you don't have any activity, nothing to file on, you'll just file a no activity return, just letting us know that there was no income that you had received, and we're good to go from there.
Okay. Michael says, I'm registered with the city revenue with an Airbnb. Airbnb collects occupancy tax from my guests. Does this cover any taxes that I pay? I have been logging on and paying taxes monthly.
Yeah, so this would be the transient accounts that we briefly touched on. Yeah, so Airbnb and I think VRBO, those online booking platforms, they actually collect that occupational tax. So that isn't necessarily needed to be like, you're not going to double pay that tax obligation. When you go to file your transient return through EMINTS, it specifically asks for the online booking platform sales in a specific section, and that's actually deducted from your non-online booking platform sales.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, transient rooms can get a little bit confusing. But yeah, if you have any additional questions on that, you can contact us here at the Revenue Commission. My customer service team is well trained on it. It should be able to help you out.
Yeah. So Mike also asked, does Airbnb send the tax monthly or yearly?
So transient returns are filed monthly. So that is a monthly return.
Okay. So Michael, so what other tax would he be paying, right, monthly?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the question.
Michael says that he's been logging on paying taxes monthly. Do you think he's Michael, are you double paying your taxes?
So if he could be, if he's filing his returns, then he's doing what he needs to be doing. They still need to be filed through EMINTS, Airbnb and VRBO. They don't file it for you. They essentially deduct that tax whenever they do your bookings. Now, if you have any bookings yourself, that is separate from the online booking platforms, and it's not withheld on. So that will have to be paid on.
Okay. Yeah, I hope that helps. Let's see. Now, Michael says, I think I've paid the taxes that Airbnb paid. I do not see any evidence of them paying my taxes on the revenue site. How
So
can you
here's what
verify?
here's what I would recommend. Give us a call. We'll be able to go over your account details with you to make sure that you're not being over withheld, and that all of the account balances reflect accurately. So in this specific situation, I would just recommend giving us a call and we can go over that information with you.
Okay, good. Thank you. See, Emily says, since I live in Frankfurt, is this still the same information?
Yeah, so it depends. If you are conducting business within Louisville Metro, that's what matters. So if you live, for example, like an employee who does work within Louisville Metro, but lives in Frankfurt, they would be subject to the non-resident tax rate. But if your business is conducting business in Louisville Metro, then that's ultimately what matters. So it's where the income is actually being earned. Now, if you are earning some of your income in Louisville and some of your income outside of Louisville, it can be apportioned based on the percentage of income that's earned within Louisville Metro.
Can't get any more confusing than that.
I know, it's clear as mud, right?
So here's a question that comes up a lot too, is like, if I'm just a sole proprietor, I just got a lawnmower, I'm gonna start cutting lawns, for example.
Mhm.
Am I still required to do all this?
Correct. So ultimately, you are still required to pay your local tax. Even as a sole proprietor, excuse me, you'd be paying the 2.2% on the income that you earn within the city of Louisville. Now, if you cut grass inside of Louisville and then also in Frankfurt, then again you can apportion your tax based on the amount of work that's done within Louisville Metro.
Okay.
But yeah, you would still all contract workers, unless the company that you're doing contract work withholds that income or that income tax, then you're going to have to register and file with us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Melanie, circling back here, is it total or local profit? She says, I have revenues from international sources, so will I include only local customers or all customers?
Yeah, so when you file, ultimately you'll put in the percentage of work. Specifically if it's sales, it's where that sale happened. So the international sales would not need to be withheld on.
Okay. Yeah. Michael says, is there additional tax requirements if I decide to switch to a long-term rental? I live on the rental property as well.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is, it seems, I think that Michael was asking about the short-term rental as well earlier. Yeah, Michael, it seems like you just need to call us and we can go over some information with you.
Yeah, but I really appreciate everybody asking kind of specific questions like that, because those are the ones that trip everybody up, is just like the little what if things.
So long term, just to let you know, long-term rentals do have, and specifically if it's a residential property, that those have different requirements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other questions out there? These have been really, really good.
Yeah.
So do you guys do like I know you've got a lot of videos and stuff on your site. I mean, what other
We do.
trainings are you have that folks can check out?
Yeah, what I would tell you is go to EMINTS and visit the resource center. There are, YouTube training videos on, how to file, how to create and register for for EMINTS. I mean, the list goes on and on. We've pretty much, got a training or tutorial on, anything that, you would want, whether it be filing a transient room tax, or, as simple as how to make a payment.
Okay. All right. Michael says, I am so glad I logged on today. So yeah, you got your money's worth today. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. The biggest, like I said, the biggest questions we get are generally around sole proprietorships and,
Right.
and so I know there's some federal guidelines, but and I think you touched on this, but like if I just do a little bit of work, what's the threshold before I need to start being a little bit more professional in money that I earn over the course of a year before, what's that cutoff amount?
So the Louisville Metro Revenue Commission will tax on the first dollar made.
Okay.
So if you are earning income, it doesn't matter from, doing what. If it's not being withheld on a W-2, or being withheld on by your employer, if you're doing contract work, then you will need to register and file with us. And again, if you're doing half your work in Louisville, half your work outside of Louisville, then only the income that's earned within Louisville will be taxed at that 2.2%.
Okay. Melanie's got a fantastic question. I wish I thought of it. So she says, what about digital sales?
So it's a really good question.
What I said. It's a
There are
great
a
question.
lot, there are a lot of nuances to that. So without specifics, I would say that would be hard to answer. We can definitely, if you've got a specific situation, I recommend, giving us a call, kind of explaining the situation, and, we can help provide you those answers.
Mhm. Okay. All right. That was a great question.
That was an excellent question. And it's, again, that specific situation is pretty nuanced. So yeah, we would love to look into it for you if you have, details that you can provide us.
Okay. Fair enough. So really, I think the message here, what you're saying is like, if you're generating any kind of revenue other than wage revenue, you really need to register with the Revenue Commission.
Correct. Yeah. If any kind of income is being generated within, Louisville Metro, Jefferson County, you will need to register and file with us.
Okay. Well, I don't think we'll have any other questions. Looks kind of quiet out there. But Melanie, that was a fantastic question. Thank you for that. So
yeah, absolutely. And if you guys have additional questions, again, you can call us here at the Revenue Commission. And if you want to direct questions to, David or Janet, I'm sure that, they will, send those questions over to me directly. They've got my contact information, and we'll help provide answers for you. We're here to help.
yeah, I will say that it's not like the IRS. I mean, they answer the phone and they're really nice to you.
We really try to be, as the manager of our customer service division, I take pride in helping people out. I know that taxes aren't always fun, but we're here to help make it a little less inconvenient.
Yeah, and it is always shocking. And every time when I call and it's just a few rings in the phone, somebody's on the line. A real person. It's not like check this selection and can I call you back?
Right.
but it's great stuff. So you guys are
Right.
fantastic. I really appreciate you.
Well, no, I greatly appreciate that feedback.
So, all right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. But Breck, this has been fantastic, and you're a great speaker. You really shared a lot of information, cleared up some stuff for me too, and
Sure.
I know everybody got some good information today. Again, if you have any questions, just call them. They'll answer the phone. They'll talk to you. They're very happy to talk to you, actually.
Yep. Yeah, I greatly appreciate you guys inviting me to speak. You can send us a message. You know, if you don't want to call, you can send us a message through EMINTS, and we'll respond to you promptly.
Yeah. Janet, thanks for driving the ship as always.
Thank you, guys, and everybody stick around. We have a quick survey, so don't leave us just quite yet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brett, again, for coming on
Absolutely.
today.
Mhm.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next Tuesday on another Toolkit Tuesday. So have a good week, everyone. See you later.